Great.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Finance. Minister, on May 18th, 3 years ago, the Pension Benefits Amendment Act received royal assent after getting all-party support in this House. As you know very well, this legislation is needed to help thousands of public sector employees merge their pension benefits so that they can retire with benefits they've already paid for. On March 30th, 2 years ago, I asked your predecessor, the Minister of Finance, why he had since ignored this bill and not introduced the necessary regulations. At that time, his response was, and I quote, "We are engaged in a range of consultations. Those regulations will be promulgated shortly," end of quote. Minister, can you stand up in the House today and tell us anything different on this issue than your predecessor told us 2 years ago?
Minister of Finance.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the question, and I appreciate the concern from all sides of the House when it comes to retirement planning in the province of Ontario. And it's one of the reasons, because too many Ontarians, almost 40%, don't have a pension plan or a retirement savings plan. And as a result, we instituted in our budget more recently, the one, by the way, that you didn't support, which is the pooled RSP plan, a PPRP, and an employer plan and alternatives to try to support those Ontarians in need. And we will continue to also advocate for enhanced CPP with the federal government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary.
Minister, I couldn't have been more fair to you. I spoke to you just after you were sworn in as Minister of Finance. I handed you a letter. I've written you 5 letters since last December on this issue. I've raised this in the House on several occasions. I did a private member's bill that was debated in this House and voted upon. Thousands of former paramedics, thousands of MPAC employees, through no fault of their own in the late 90s, had their employer change. They might have been working for the Collingwood Hospital Ambulance Service and are now working for the County of Simcoe. So their pensions would have been merged automatically if they were police officers moving from the Collingwood Town Police to OPP because it's in the Police Act. 4 years ago, your predecessor did put it in the budget. 3 years ago, it received royal assent. But we've been waiting 3 years. There are thousands of public servants in everyone's ridings waiting to retire. This doesn't cost you any money. You simply have to transfer the money so that all the credits are put together in one pension plan.
Thank you.
And they get the pension they paid for. What are you going to do?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the enthusiasm and the spirit and the concern by the member. I do. But what is important is what has been done and what we continue to do to support those Ontarians who require support and their RSP. In fact, pension reform is underway. It's in this budget, something that you didn't support. We have it on page 276 talking about some of the requirements and some of the initiatives that are underway now. And in fact, some of the work that we've done has actually been able to support and save taxpayers up to $2.4 billion this year alone while protecting pensioners. We need to ensure that a pooled pension plan exists, that all those initiatives and all those individuals have safeguards. We would support your recommendations, provided you also support what's in it, and we need your help.
The member from Beaches, East York.